Okay, let me be honest with you. I'm not exactly the epitome of graceful. Even when I try my best, coffee still ends up on my newly washed and ironed shirt. And if I'm carrying 2 or more things in my arms, I'm bound to drop at least one of them. But the other day, I surpassed myself. I left my beloved laptop in a hot car. I didn't know then that almost all laptops tend to work best when the temperature is between 50 and 95 degrees. Any colder or hotter, and your gadget starts to wig out. For one thing, laptop lithium-ion batteries are notorious for not being heat-friendly. I had to learn this the hard way, but I'll tell you about that later. Even if you leave your device in a hot place only a few times, you risk ruining it beyond repair. See for yourself, with every 15 degrees rise in temperature, the battery's lifespan gets cut in half. And once the heat damages it, there's no way you can restore it. The disaster happens this way. When your laptop gets too hot, all chemical reactions inside its battery speed up. It all has to do with that fancy lithium-ion part of the labeling. Under too high temperatures, the negatively and positively charged ions inside this type of battery start to move faster than usual. More movement usually means more heat, and well, that means a shorter lifespan for your poor battery. Now, I'll be honest. Again, the newest laptops can easily deal with the much harsher conditions and temperatures, with some of them being able to take 140 degrees like a champ, though I wouldn't test that if I were you. But sadly, my computer wasn't one of them. I also learned the hard way that the battery isn't the only thing that can get harmed when you abandon your laptop in a hot car. Any hard drive consists of delicate and fragile components, and when the materials they're made of get heated, they tend to expand, which means permanent damage or even failure of the hard drive. Apparently, to avoid such dramatic consequences, I had to shut my laptop off all the way before leaving it in the car. Even if it had been in power-saving mode, and it wasn't, it would have still generated heat. And inside the hot closed vehicle, left out in the sun, the laptop's motherboard and hard drive are likely to burn out. I should have made sure my laptop was and would stay out of the direct sunlight as well. A white or bright cloth placed over the computer would have protected it by creating a barrier between my device and the heat of the car. And yet another blunder I made. I was supposed to let my laptop cool down completely after shutting it down, which I didn't. Now, don't judge me too harshly. I didn't know any of this at that time. So imagine my horror when I come up to my car and discover that I've left my laptop inside. Even worse, while I was away, the sun moved and is now shining directly on the glossy surface of the lid. When I touch it, my hand jerks back on its own. The laptop feels scorching hot. With my heart rate rising in a panic, I try to switch it on, but all my attempts fail. Well, I guess it's time to pay a visit to the service center. The man who greets me there takes a look at my computer and then says to me in astonishment, "I see you've tried to damage this thing in every way possible." Charming. When he sees how puzzled I am, he explains how my bad habits have almost completely destroyed my laptop. Spoiler alert, leaving it in a hot car wasn't the worst of my mistakes. I often used my laptop until its battery was down to nearly zero. I thought it didn't matter at the time, but by doing that, I was degrading the battery much faster than necessary. If you want your computer to serve you longer, don't let it run out of juice completely. Better charge it more frequently. Also, I have a cat. And you know what cats love? Toasty warm surfaces, like a laptop. My weakness for giving in to the little rascal's every demand seriously let me down. Every time my fluffy companion cuddled on my computer's warm keyboard, a substantial amount of his fur got into the system's fans. By the way, that was another reason my laptop used to overheat. Once or twice, I accidentally closed my laptop with earbuds inside. Hey, you can see by now, absent-mindedness is my middle name. Guess what that got me? Scratches and dents on the screen. Luckily, I didn't pull my earphones from the computer after I finished listening to something. That's how I avoided the worst outcome, damaging my laptop's headphone plug. I've heard about a misconception lots of people still believe. If you leave magnets next to your laptop, it'll eventually ruin your device. Just to be on the safe side, I asked the service center technician if I should be alarmed if a fridge magnet accidentally, welcome to my life, drops on my laptop. While looking quite disturbed, the man assured me that it wouldn't change anything about how my computer worked. On the other hand, if it was a powerful industrial magnet, and you place that powerful magnet next to an electronic device, magnetic disturbance could result in data loss. You see, a laptop's hard drive has some magnets of its own. They're used to save and store data. Whew, it's a good thing I don't have an industrial magnet. What's the most convenient and fastest way to clean the laptop screen? I was sure that you can do it using wet wipes. It turns out I was wrong again. Cleaning the screen with liquids tends to damage it. Any liquid, even the most natural cleaner, can lead to corrosion once it gets on the screen. As for soaps or chemicals, they can destroy the special screen coating. The best way to clean the screen is by wiping it with a dry microfiber cloth, like the ones people use to clean their eyeglasses. I also used to think that since a laptop is a portable device, you can carry it anywhere you want at any time. Nope. When your computer is on and running a program that needs access to the hard drive, you should leave your gadget be. Don't transport it, don't move it from one place to another. It's best not to touch it altogether. Otherwise, your impatience may cost you some lost data. By the way, laptops also don't take kindly to being shaken. So avoid using your computer while riding a motorcycle, running away from people – hey, it could happen – or traveling in the back of a car. But back to my conversation with the expert on all things laptop-related. Have you ever spilled anything on it? When the man at the service center asks me this question, he looks at me pointedly and arches one brow. I can't make myself look him straight in the eye and start mumbling something along the lines of, not really. Maybe once or twice. It was coffee. Uh-oh. I thought he wouldn't notice since every time it happened, I dried the spill almost immediately. Well, looks like the liquid from one of those incidents managed to get to the insides of my computer. It also caused some problems unnoticeable for me, but obvious for an expert. Also, I wasn't supposed to use my laptop as a coaster for a hot cup of coffee. Apparently, this damages the screen matrix, whatever that is. Well, as you can see, I wasn't the most careful laptop owner, and now I have to pay the price. The man at the service center tells me I can leave my laptop with him, but he doesn't know whether it'll be possible to revive my computer. Fingers crossed. Hey, if you learned something new today, then give the video a like and share it with your friend. Just don't pour coffee into your laptop. And here are some other videos I think you'll enjoy. Just click to the left or right, and remember, stay on the bright side of life.